All right, so detail the countries that were involved in the Central and Allied powers. So let's start off with the Central powers. Who were involved in Central powers? So it's good review before your quiz. I was thinking about moving your quiz to Wednesday, since Wednesday is your last day this week. I feel like that's a good idea. And I'll give you a little bit more time to prepare. And reminder, the map quiz game online, if you get the fastest time with 100%, screenshot it, and then you'll have to show me that on Wednesday before you take the test. So the fastest person gets an extra credit point. Okay? All right, I'll show that again. I'll try to play it for you guys if you're confused on how to play the game. All right, so Central powers. Who we got? Who's involved with the Central powers? Tanner?
Germany, Ottoman Empire, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria.
Okay, yeah, good job. Good job. So the main ones, Germany, obviously. Okay, we talked about them a lot. They were part of the Triple Alliance. Before that, the Dual Alliance with Austria-Hungary. And again, they share a border, have a similar culture, language, religion, you name it. And Austria kind of wanted to ride the coattails of Germany. Same thing with the Ottoman Empire, right? The Ottoman Empire, modern day Turkey. Okay, down here, guys. Right, the Mediterranean, so modern day Turkey, they're a declining power as well. So they weren't really that industrialized. They were at one time a strong empire, but not so much anymore. So their goal is to try to become relevant again and join the side of Germany, right? So Ottoman Empire, Austria-Hungary, and Germany. Those are the three main powers I'd like you to know for the Central powers. Okay, at the start of war, Italy was involved with this alliance through the Triple Alliance, right? And Italy will jump sides, okay? They will no longer be involved with Germany and Austria. Okay, they're jumping on the bandwagon, right? That being said, what about that Penn State game? Oh, geez, I'm winning sodas left and right here. This is awesome. This is not bad. This is not bad. Oh, but anyway, easy way to remember it. You look at Germany, look at Austria, the Ottoman Empire even. It's all in center of Europe, okay? Pretty self-explanatory. All right, the Allied powers. Who were involved there? Who's involved in the Allied powers? Go ahead, Eddie.
France, Great Britain, Russia.
Yeah, good job. So France, Great Britain, and Russia. And what was that alliance system before the war? What was that called? Not the Triple Alliance, but the Triple Entente. Good job. And we already know Great Britain and France, why are they coming together? For many, many years, they hated each other. They're constantly at war. But why? What happened that brought Great Britain and France together? Griffin? Yeah, good job. The only way to defeat Germany at this point was to come together. And Great Britain knew that France most likely couldn't do it by themselves. And we already know the Franco-Prussian War that caused a huge rivalry between France and Germany. Okay, as Germany took Alsace-Lorraine and advanced their power in France. Okay, luckily they didn't take them fully over. But what about Great Britain? How is Germany challenging Great Britain? What were they doing before the war? So they're ramping up their what? This branch of the military. Cassidy? Yeah, their Navy. Good job. So the naval arms race, remember? Okay, so that's what caused a lot of tension between Great Britain and Germany, which caused France and Great Britain to join sides because they saw Germany rising as a world power. What about Russia? Why are they getting involved? Why are they involved with this alliance? Go ahead, Griffin. Yeah, good job. Good job. So on the Western Front, we had France and Great Britain, and on the Eastern side, you had Russia. Those were the three main countries involved with the Allied powers at the start of the war. And their goal was to try to surround Germany. Okay, Germany will have to fight a two-front war in order to try to compete, okay, in order to try to really expand their power. So we all know when you're splitting up your forces, your troops, it's going to be difficult to win a war. And that's exactly what the goal was with this alliance system. Eventually, like I said, the United States will join in. Okay, even Japan involved with the Allied powers. And we'll get more about that when we get closer towards World War II and how they kind of got the short end of the stick towards the end of World War I. And we all know that Russia will eventually drop out, which will kind of ease up some pressure for Germany since they don't have to fight a two-front war anymore. But it's kind of too little too late when the United States joins in. All right, is there any questions on the Central powers, the Allied powers? You good with that? Okay, I know I showed you a map a couple times already about it. And let me get you working on the vocab now, which you already know the Central powers and the Allied powers since we just reviewed it, but just make sure you have it on your terms. So when it comes to test time, oh, this wasn't in terms. Well, it is. There you go. So the Schlieffen Plan, that's a funny name. And then the Allied Powers, Central Powers, but you guys already know that. So shouldn't take you too long to complete that. All you needed was a pencil.
Yeah.
I had pencils up here.
I think that one from
Wait, what?
I think that one from this group.
Oh, they special down there. Okay. All right, Schlieffen Plan. What do we got? What do we have? Tanner, go ahead.
It was a plan that allowed Germany to take France and all weaken.
Okay, all right. So this was Germany's plan to attack France, okay, to start the Western Front. They believe, well, it'll be easier just to take over France before we aim our attention at Russia. Okay, we all know from the very beginning of the war, Germany had to split up their troops. Okay, they had to split up their supplies. So they're going to have to focus a lot of attention on one side, which they thought they could hold off Russia at one time for really the start of the war until they fully take over France. And their goal is to try to take over France before who gets involved, before who sends their troops across the English Channel. I already said it. Griffin? Yeah, Great Britain. Good job. So they're going to try to strike quick, strike fast, like they did in the Franco-Prussian War. They try to fully take over France before Great Britain gets involved, and they could hold off Russia really with just not too many numbers and not too many troops. And they thought, well, Russia is going to be hard to mobilize their troops and their soldiers because they really don't have mobilization, right? They don't have the ability to travel troops really far across these lands. They don't really have roads and bridges developed yet in Russia. So it's going to be hard for them to mobilize an army to challenge Germany on the Eastern Front. So their goal is to try to strike quick, fast, and efficient to defeat France to really end the Western Front before it gets started. All right, the Allied powers, Central powers, We already went over it. We talked about that. We good with that? Okay, today I want to focus a lot on the Schlieffen Plan because I think it's important to know what Germany's ideas were, their plans, even before the war even started to try to attack France. Because France is probably going to load up a lot of their forces along that territory that Germany took at the end of the Franco-Prussian War. All right, so don't forget to play the game though for the map. All right, see who is going to get this extra credit point. Oh, 19 minutes. I got to refresh this. This isn't right. Doesn't take me that long to find it out. If it does, you're definitely not going to get that. So don't forget to play this game, guys. Here it is. I'll just roll through it quick. See what we can do. This one I'm always stuck on. There you go. Serve you. All right. Oh, it's glitching a little bit. Uh-oh. Slowing up. Hey, not bad. 100%. 44 seconds though. That's pretty long. Pretty long. You guys should be able to beat that. All right, let's get to it here. Schlieffen Plan. If I can. There we go. So don't forget to play that game. See who gets an extra credit point. All right.
Maybe if it was worth 2.
2 points. Oh, what? Now you're asking a lot. Okay, so we finished up talking about the alliance systems and how really that brought in these countries to get involved in the war. How the assassination occurred with Franz Ferdinand. You have Gavrilo Princip, obviously sparking this war. Militarism, nationalism, imperialism. Okay, all these causes coming together to start the Great War. Okay, this world conflict. And we mentioned that already. So again, turn that assignment in, Mania, for points. I'm going to grade that probably next period. So make sure you have that turned in so I can give you a grade for that. If you don't, well, you're going to miss out. And we don't want that to happen. All right, so the Schlieffen Plan, real quick, I just have a map to show you what it looks like. As we know, this is Germany here, okay, Central Powers. And then here's that Rhine River I was talking about with Alsace-Lorraine. Okay, this territory that Germany acquired at the end of the Franco-Prussian War. So if France was trying to prepare for an attack, to prepare for an aggressive Germany, where do you think they're going to align a lot of their forces? Barbara? On the border, right? It makes sense. Okay, the only way Germany's going to attack France is right through the border. Okay, and Germany's going to make it seem like that, right? They're going to try to load up some forces right along this border to make France appear and think that Germany is going to invade right through the border. That makes the most sense. Okay. And with the Schlieffen Plan, that's exactly what Schlieffen decided to do. And this was a military general even before World War I. He actually wasn't even alive when the war started. And Germany decides to use this plan because, well, this is a great way to try to attack France, to try to surprise them and try to advance onto France and take over the capital, Paris, within really 40 days. That was their goal, to try to take over France within 40 days. And the reason for that was, I kind of mentioned with the vocab, Russia really wasn't industrialized yet. Okay, Russia, they thought they could maybe mobilize just a few forces, a few line of armies right along the border to prevent them from actually pushing all the way into Germany. And it'd be hard for Russia to equip their soldiers or troops at a fast pace because they don't really have roads, they don't have bridges, they don't have trains to transport their troops at a fast rate. So Germany thought, well, if we go over the Western Front, take over France within 40 days, within a little bit over a month, we can eliminate the Western Front and focus a lot of our attention on Russia, which that was the goal with the Schlieffen Plan. And rather than attacking right through the border, Germany thought, well, let's just attack through neutral Belgium. Do you think Belgium has an army capable of stopping Germany? Kale, no, not even close. So with that being said, there won't be that many forces fortified here through Belgium. And this would totally catch France off guard. like I said, Germany is going to line a few of their armies up along the Alsace-Lorraine border to make France think that they're going to be attacking through that border. So France loads up a lot of their army along the border. But France actually prepared a little bit better for this. They had 17 plans on deciding whether or not where Germany's going to attack. Okay, so 17 different plans to try to prepare for this opposition, this aggressive Germany. And this has really been building up since the Franco-Prussian War. So over 50 years, 40 years, 50 years, France has been preparing. So they actually loaded up some of their armies right along the Belgian border. They thought, well, this is a possible way that Germany could attack. So in a way, they were kind of preparing for the Schlieffen Plan before the war even started. So Germany thought, well, let's utilize this plan to attack through Belgium. They don't really see too many defenses in Belgium as they're marching right through. But as they're coming through Belgium, who gets involved? Who gets involved? Think back to the cafeteria fight scene. So as Germany's marching through a neutral country, Belgium, who decides to get involved in the war on the Western Front? So obviously France and Germany, they hate each other. But what was the other power I talked about? No? Yeah, Great Britain. Good job. So you kind of see them up here. So Great Britain, as Germany's marching through Belgium, the word gets out that Germany's going to attack France. And as Germany's marching through Belgium, Great Britain sends their troops across the English Channel quicker and a lot faster, more efficient than what Germany could expect. Because Germany's goal with this whole plan was act like a swinging door. As you can see, it's swinging down. They try to capture Paris and really surround the troops fortified here between Alsace-Lorraine, okay, at the border between Germany and France. Germany thought, well, if we just invade and act like the swinging door through Belgium, capture Paris, which Paris is only 90 miles, 100 miles away from the Belgian border, then this war in the Western Front is going to be over already. And this is going to prevent Great Britain from traveling across the English Channel. But Germany didn't really think too much about the planned defenses that France actually had and fortified here on the Belgian coast and the border, okay, and how quick Great Britain could get their troops across the English Channel. They had no clue, and they really underestimated their opponent in the Western Front. So as this plan was insinuating, as it was ensuing, okay, Germany's marching through Belgium. They're stopped abruptly by France here at the Belgian border, and it allowed Great Britain to send troops across the English Channel to prevent Germany from marching too far into France. Okay, so yeah, the Schlieffen Plan was a great idea. They tried to surprise France to quickly take over Paris, really end the war, and surround the troops, France's troops, at the border between Germany and France. Great idea, but they underestimated their opponents with France and Great Britain. It took too long to mobilize the troops. Even with the railroad systems, France was prepared for all aspects of war with Germany. Okay. And with that being said, as Germany's marching in and stopped and halted, okay, right here in northern France, guess who gets involved in the war in the Eastern Front? Russia. So this plan really didn't work the way Germany wanted. And the two-front war starts. And this causes a bloody battle, a bloody trench warfare scene, which we'll talk about more tomorrow on the Western Front and on the Eastern Front, causing a two-front war that Germany was trying to eliminate before it even got started. So is there any questions on that, guys? So you see how Germany, again, attacking through Belgium, acting like the swinging door, capturing Paris, and hopefully surrounding the troops here, but it didn't work. France was fortified along the Belgian border, and Great Britain sent troops in before Germany could really mobilize their troops and push far into France. So good idea, but it just didn't work, right? France was just underestimated by Germany, right? Okay, any questions? You good? All right, so I have a reading for you, just explaining the Schlieffen Plan, and we'll review this tomorrow and move on with the Western Front and trench warfare. And you should be able to get this reading done. It shouldn't take you too long to complete. So it's called the Schlieffen Plan. It's right there at the bottom of the module, right here. Let me publish that for you. And this is what it looks like quick. File, Schlieffen Plan. Sooner or later. There it is. All right, there you go. Shouldn't take you too long. Like I said, you should be able to get it done by the end of the period. Well, reminder, try to have Mania turned in. Please have that turned in. I'm going to grade that really right now so that I can have those in within the second marking period. If you're missing it, since it's the start of the marking period, it's going to be tough, right? With eligibility, I don't want to be that guy. And with the map activity, again, try to screenshot your results. Fastest time, 100%, gets an extra credit point. All right, there we go. That's all I got.